Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. Today I am starting a potential set of videos coming in the future on how to build an account that can sustain a bond from scratch. These will just be single episode segments, but I'm planning on maybe doing a few different ones based on different routes or different methods you can work towards. So I have pretty much a brand new account. It just has a few quests done to be able to use the Grand Exchange, and I'm going to be renewing a bond on it. Now the method I'm going to be working towards today is mortmyre fungus. You can get this done right off the bat, and I don't think this is going to take me more than a few hours, but I'm going to show you step by step how I build towards this method from scratch. So to begin with here, we're going to start at the Grand Exchange, and I'm going to buy myself an axe. I need a little bit of money to begin with here, and chopping down trees or oak trees is an easy way to do so. However, on top of that, one of the requirements for one of the quests I need to do is 36 woodcutting. So I'm going to do that right off the bat because I'll need to get it done eventually, and woodcutting early game will get me a bit of money to begin training some of my other skills. Okay, so we just hit level 15 woodcutting. Now we can go ahead and cut oak logs. To do this, we are going to go to a drainer village because there is an oak tree very close to the bank. And also at level 30, we're going to move on to willow trees, which are also pretty close to a drainer. Now we ended up cutting about 80 logs, and we need to go buy some new axes. We're going to buy a mithril axe and then an adamant axe for use at level 21 woodcutting and level 31 woodcutting. We don't need to buy the rune axe because we're only going to level 36, which is the requirement for the Lost City quest. The only other skill requirement for the quest is 31 crafting, which we will get after. Okay, so we're in Drainer Village cutting oak logs. We're just a tiny bit east of the bank here. There is level 21 wood cutting, so we can now upgrade to the mithril axe, which we'll go ahead and do right now, and then go all the way to 31. Okay, there's level 31 wood cutting. Now we can wield the adamant axe. I'm going to go over to Willows now, which is just a little bit west of here in Port Rim. There's a really easy and close location, and we'll just stay there all the way to level 36. There is level 36 wood cutting. This whole process from 1 to 36 only takes about 1 hour approximately, depending on your speed. And now we're going to go back to the Grand Exchange and buy some crafting materials. Alright, so we just bought a little bit of leather and a needle and some thread. We need to get to at least level 10 crafting, because then from there we can make bowstrings, which will give us a bit of money, which we really need pretty badly, as well as crafting experience. So we're just going to go ahead and make leather gloves and then leather boots, and that will get us past level 10 pretty quickly. So we just decided to use up all of the leathers, which got us well past level 10. We're already onto vamp braces. Okay, so we only have about 2,000 coins left. With it, we're going to buy flax, which luckily is dirt cheap. We can go buy about like 600 or 700 of it. So with that flax, we're going to spin it into bowstrings. For one, it's decent money, and it will also give us some crafting experience, which is going to help us a lot. We're at 14 crafting now. We need another, 17 crafting levels. Alright, so we ended up spinning all the flax in our bank. We're not quite 31 yet, but we'll just go back to the Grand Exchange, sell off all of the items, and then we'll just go buy a few more leather items, which will get us to 31 pretty quickly. Okay, so we spun all 600 of the flax, and we can sell it for around 75k. It didn't sell for 82k. We'll dump it down a little bit cheaper. And it sold for 82k. Okay, pretty good. So with this, we're gonna buy a little bit more leather, and we'll just create like leather chaps or something until 31. We're at level 28 crafting right now, so this will only take like 5 minutes. Okay, so there we go, guys. The whole process of getting from level 1 to 31 crafting took me around 45 minutes, so it's pretty quick, especially if you have a little bit of extra cash to dump into it. There are quicker crafting methods, but this one was cheap, and the other one made us a bit of money, so nice. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is level up our magic a little bit, because the next quest we want to do is the Lost City quest, which will require us to safe spot the monster, and the best spell to do that with is Fire Strike. So we just went ahead and bought a Staff of Fire as well as some runes, and we're just attacking this goblin over here. You can really attack anything. Okay, that should get us to level 13 magic, which is the requirement to cast Fire Strike. There we go. So now we have all of the requirements for Lost City, 31 crafting and 36 woodcutting, and that is all of these skill requirements out of the way. So one precursor quest we actually need to do first is the Restless Ghost quest. This quest has no requirements. For any of the quests, I'm going to be leaving a quest guide in the description. I would recommend Slayer Music 1's guide. They are very clear, concise, and easy to follow. That is the Restless Ghost quest completed. Very quick. Only about 5 to 10 minutes depending on which teleports you have unlocked. This is a requirement for the Priest and Peril quest, as well as it gives you 1.1k prayer experience, so very good, and that will get us from levels 1 to 9 prayer very quickly. The next quest on the list is the Lost City quest. We're not doing this for a reward, but it is a precursor quest to Fairy Tales Part 1, which is the quest we need to complete for this method. The Lost City quest only takes around 10 minutes. It's actually quite a bit quicker than you would imagine, and we are done. Okay, the next quest we're going to do is the Witch's House quest. Now, this isn't actually a requirement for anything. However, having low HP makes the quest we're going to do after very difficult. So to counteract that, we're going to go complete the Witch's House quest. There we go, the quest is complete. It gives you 6.3k hit points experience, which gets you all the way to 25 hit points. That will be more than enough to finish up the next quest. The next one we're going to do is the Waterfall Quest. So while technically the Waterfall Quest is not a requirement, it's almost a requirement because to be able to kill the Tangleroot boss, you need either farming levels or strength levels, and getting strength levels is a lot easier to get via questing. So by completing the Waterfall Quest, we're going to get to level 30 attack and strength, which should be enough to be able to kill the Tangleroot boss. It's going to be a slow process, but it's probably going to be overall quicker to just spend 10 minutes killing the boss as opposed to 3 or 4 hours leveling up our combat skills or farming levels further than this. The next quest on the agenda is the Priest in Peril quest. This one will only take you around 15 minutes. It's very quick. However, it's also required to have a bit of combat stats, and they cannot be magic, so we actually needed melee combat to be able to do this. Okay, there we go. Priest in Peril is done. That's 1.4k more prayer experience, which is going to bring us up to 15 prayer. We now have access to Canifis, and now we can go ahead and do the Nature Spirit quest. So since we're already here, we're going to start the Nature Spirit quest, which is the second to last quest we will need to complete for this method, and it'll only take you around 15 to 20 minutes. There we go. The Nature Spirit quest has been completed. 3k crafting experience, some defense experience, and some hit points experience. Bring us up to 16 defense, which will help out a little bit in the future. So now we only have one full quest left to do, and that is Fairy Tales Part 1, which we will start right now. So now we are on to Fairy Tales Part 1, which is objectively the hardest quest of all of these. The reason for that is the Tangleroot boss, which can only be damaged with magic secateurs, and the only stat it scales off of is your farming or your strength levels. So my max hit against this boss is going to be 2. So because of this, we're going to have to flinch it, and this is where I definitely recommend looking at Slayer Music 1's guide. There is a spot down to the south of the boss where you can just run back and forth, and you won't take any damage. You do have to wait until his health bar disappears. Once it disappears, you run in there, hit him once, and then walk back out. So it takes a long time. This alone is going to take me 10 minutes to kill this boss. The quest itself only takes about 20 minutes, but killing this boss might take another 10. So about a 30-minute quest. You can see how painfully slow this is going to be. So we'll be back in, well, 10 minutes when he is dead. So we flinched the entire thing. We didn't take any damage, and our max hit was indeed 2. There we go, it's dead. There's the Queen Secateurs, and now we can go ahead and complete the quest, which will be pretty much it. There we go, Fairy Tales Part 1 completed. So we get 3,500 farming experience, a bit of attack experience, and a bit of magic experience. Now, the reason we're doing this is actually just so we can start Fairy Tales Part 2, which has no requirements to start, and that will unlock the fairy rings. So the fairy ring teleports are so important and almost required for the money-making method that we are doing. So we're just starting off Fairy Tales Part 2, and we'll be able to use them. So all that work, and we finally unlocked the fairy ring teleportation system, and this is probably the most useful thing in the entire game. Not only is it going to unlock our current money-making method, which we can get maybe 500k to 700k an hour at the current prices, but it's also one of the best transportation systems in the entire game. So what you need is an Amulet of Glory, a Ring of Dueling, a Draymond Staff, and your Enchanted Sickle. From here, we're going to teleport to the fairy ring code BKR, which once you've teleported there once, it'll be in your quick hop menu. From here, we're going to run to the west. Now you can take a bit of damage here, but since we're going to be teleporting back to Clan Wars every single time, it's not a big deal. So we're going to keep running west until you see a section of 3 logs that are connected. This is important because it does it in a 3x3 radius, and it doesn't matter, you're going to use the same amount of prayer points per time, whether there's 1 log there or whether there's 3 logs there, so you need to find a spot with 3 logs. Every time you cast the bloom spell, it's going to take between 1 and 5 prayer points, I believe. So clearly you can see a big problem right away is that our prayer level is so low that we're going to run out of prayer right away, and we'll have to go back and bank. So pretty much what I recommend doing is just start doing the method, and as you get money, invest that into your prayer, which I'll show you in a minute here. So we ran out of prayer. Well, we didn't get that much in our inventory, unfortunately, but now we're going to teleport back to Clan Wars. From here, we are going to bank our mortmyre fungus. Luckily, there is a bank chest right here. After we bank it, we're going to run a bit more to the west, and there is a Clan Wars portal that when you enter it and leave, it restores all of your stats, which is very important. So from here in the portal room, we're going to teleport to Edgeville. The reason we're teleporting here is because there is a fairy ring network teleport right here. We just need to run a little bit over the river and you will see it pretty much right away. This is one of the closest teleports to a fairy ring that you can get from level 1. You can buy this right off the Grand Exchange and you don't need to unlock anything. So there it is. From here, we're going to teleport back to BKR. And we're just going to keep repeating this over and over and over again. That is the run. We've restored all of our prayer, all of our HP, and we're back to do it again. So we're going to do this for, I don't know, maybe half an hour, get a bit of money, and then we're going to sell off the mortmyre fungus, which are valued at about 600 GP each, up to 800 or even 1K sometimes. So sometimes they're very valuable to do. So yeah, we're going to do it for a bit, save up some money, and we're going to go invest that into our prayer. So we ended up doing this for about half an hour, 35 minutes, and we got around 330 of them, which we sold right away for 223K. So already we're getting about 400K an hour, which is pretty decent, but it's going to get a lot better once we get a higher prayer level. So from here, we're going to buy some dragon bones, because we need to get our prayer level up, because right now 15 prayer is not cutting it. So we're going to buy as many dragon bones as we can afford. We'll be around 70, so we'll buy 70 dragon bones. And from here, we're going to use them on a gilded altar. So you want to head to Remington with some noted bones in your inventory as well as some cash. Okay, so we're in Remington. Unfortunately, we forgot our noted bones. But anyway, we're going to hop over to the house party world, which is world 330. And from here, we're looking for someone hosting a gilded altar. You just have to kind of look around and people are yelling out the names of people who actually have a gilded altar. From here, you're just going to use your dragon bones on the altar and you're going to get prayer levels very quickly. We're getting a prayer level pretty much every 2 bones right now. So we're going to go use all 80 bones I think we got, and we'll see what level of prayer that gets us to. Ideally, you would get to around 40 to 50 prayer, but 40 will be pretty good. You'll get a full inventory of mortmyre fungus more or less with 40 prayer. 30 is going to be cutting it pretty close. So one tip here is if you come to the Remington location, you can run down to the general store south of it and use your noted bones on files, which will unnote them for you for a fee of a few GP per unnoted item. And that is the last of our bones, which should get us to a level 34 prayer, so not bad for only 80 bones. So all in all, this should only take you around 5 to 6 hours. It took me around 6, but it always takes me a bit longer to do stuff because I suck, maybe, but also because I'm recording and checking times and stuff like that. So once again, this can earn you between 500k to even 1 mil an hour. I've had it at some points, and there's quite a few other methods that you can unlock later in the game that will make this run even quicker. It's a very consistent method to earn a bond, and it should only take you 5 or 6 hours to earn a bond at this point as well. So it's only like 20 to 30 minutes a day that you actually need to do this. So very good. Anyway guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to leave the video a like. I would appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.